Hi everyone! Today, let's talk about the astrology of sound and music. I have always loved music a lot and figured that looking at the way music connects with astrology could be very interesting. I had a lot of fun investigating and decided to make this video so I could walk you all through my research and share my findings. It all started when I was thinking about Capricorn from a Vedic sidereal standpoint and how two of the nakshatras that connect to Capricorn, Shravana and Dhanishta, are heavily correlated to sound through their symbols. Shravana's symbol is the ear, which we use to listen to music, and Dhanishta's symbol is the drum, which we use to produce sound and whose instrumental mechanism is one of the most simple and one of the most representative of sound itself. Interestingly enough, both the ear, which receives the sound, and the drum, which produces the sound, have some similarities in their structure. Let's look at the concept of sound first. What is sound? And what do we need in order to produce sound? Simply put, sound is defined as a vibration that moves through the air and will be perceived through our ears. Okay, nice. We could go deeper than that. What is a vibration now? If we look into the etymology of the word vibration, it basically means movement. A vibration is a movement. And if we want to get more specific, it is a sort of tremor, a movement that makes something shake, something follow a sort of repeated, periodic, rhythmic pattern in its movement. Okay, that's a bit better, but we could get more precise with it. This definition is still not enough because a movement or even a tremor isn't necessarily something that produces a song. Try moving your eyes from left to right now. Then shake your hand real quick. Did any of those moves produce a sound? Of course not, because something is missing. Now, snap your fingers. Did you hear this? It made a sound. What happened exactly when you snap your finger? We'll figure it out. But before we do the same movement of finger snapping again, but very slowly. Make your finger caress your thumb instead. Did you hear it? Exactly. We heard nothing but silence because sound isn't just about movement. If you take a drum and you rub very gently on it, you won't hear much. If you smash it and produce a surface shock, you'll produce a sound. A sound is actually the result of movement that produces a surface shock. When you snap your fingers, there's a shock between your index and the base of your thumb, which produces a song. Even when you speak, your vocal cords touch each other repeatedly. They are said to vibrate, and what we have in mind is a tremor, but really what happens is these muscles repeatedly touch each other as air moves through them, hence why you produce a sound. If your vocal cords don't touch, nothing you say can be heard. Now, let's look at what receives the sound, the ear. What do we need in order to hear a sound? Well, we need another surface, literally. Sound moves through the air as a wave, and the wave needs to imprint on something. If you look at the structure of our ears, they basically are a conduit, at the end of which a surface can be found, our eardrums. So the sound arrives to our ears and enters our auditive canal as it is carried by the air, and then it has to hit our eardrums and produce a surface shock in order for us to hear the sound. Similarly to our vocal cords, if for whatever reason the sound can touch our eardrums, or if eardrums are perforated, there is no surface shock and no sound can be heard. To sum it up, sound is a wave that is produced by a shock between at least two surfaces that will propagate itself through the air and needs to land on an outer surface, our eardrums for instance, in order to be perceived. Now, what does this have to do with Capricorn? Well, Capricorn is of the earth element. Earth is the most common element that embodies solid matter, which we need to create a shock. Movement is a Martian thing, and Mars exalts in Capricorn. Speaking from my regular standpoint here, which is the Western sidereal path, Mars is mainly associated with war and violence, far above movement. For a planet to be exalted means its energy is used in a much more constructive manner, in a much more prolific way, and it honestly makes sense that the exaltation of movement in Capricorn would correspond to sound production. Sound is sacred. It has been used for rituals, celebrations, whether they are recreational or religious, and this to this day. And the most interesting part is that when you look at the charts of the most important composers and music producers across history, major Capricorn placements are found very often. Mozart, for instance, musical genius, had his sun, Mercury, and Saturn in Capricorn. Beethoven had a Libra rising ruled by a Capricorn Venus. Richard Wagner had Moon, Mars, and his midheaven in Capricorn. Timbaland, which is literally a hip hop legend and one of the most innovative beat producers, had his Venus and North Node in Capricorn. Jay Dilla, as well, has Capricorn placements, his Sun, Venus, and Jupiter. We also have Dr. Dre, who has Venus, his chart ruler in Capricorn, conjunct his midheaven that is in Capricorn as well. Pharrell Williams, head of the Neptunes, known for their amazing productions, has an Aries moon ruled by a Capricorn Mars, which is conjunct his Jupiter in Capricorn as well, and his Jupiter rules his midheaven, which pertains to career. Chad Hugo, other member of the Neptunes, has a Capricorn Venus and a Danish Jupiter. It's in Aquarius though, but still. We also have Jay Versace, that is a Capricorn sun. I could honestly go on for a while. The list is very long. We also have Swiss Beats, DJ Premier, Frankie Knuckles, Madlib, Skrillex, Calvin Harris, Pitbull, Elton John, Quincy Jones. Across time and epochs, Saturnian placements are found often among producers and composers, as you can see. Of course, the world of music is wide. It starts with sound production, but it doesn't stop there. There are singers, dancers, performers, writers, even, and talents for each of these positions will show through different signs that aren't necessarily Capricorn. And back to sound production real quick, I spoke from a sidereal perspective, but tropical can also be relevant for context in a general manner and can indicate success as a producer as well. I've found several Capricorn placements in the charts of David Guetta and Zaytoven, for instance. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video and would like for me to further dive into this topic, let me know. Until then, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already and to turn the notifications on as well so that you don't miss out on my future uploads. You can also subscribe to my Patreon in order to support my work as a YouTuber astrologer if you'd like, and follow me on my other socials as well. All right. Bye.